more than once a day. You just because you have to prepare for it as much as anything. Is you think about our defense when they take the field, they're not going to be able to hear as much as our opponents aren't going to be able to hear. So we've really been trying to hammer home the communication aspect of it on both sides of the ball. And also the mental psyche piece of it. We're going to get ready to come out of this tunnel, and we need to make sure we focus on the game and enjoy the experience of running out of the tunnel the first time, but focus on the task at hand, and that's each down as we prepare for it.
Overall impressions of the scrimmage today?
I thought the offense started really well. I thought they were efficient. I thought guys made some plays. We had a couple missed opportunities there on a third down in the red zone. That was a great goal line stand by the defense, and then them creating a couple of turnovers there in the third down setting. I liked the execution of the offense in the 2-minute drill there at the end to go down and get a field goal. I think that we still have plenty of work to do in just the overall mechanics of the game with substitutions from offense to special teams to defense, things of that nature. But all in all, for a first scrimmage running over about 120 plays, I thought it went well. Again, I know more tomorrow after I look at the film.
Demarai Sheffield had 2 touchdowns today.
Demarai has really come along. Early on we were talking so much about John Ross as one of the young freshman wideouts, and he still continues to impress. But Stringfellow's now starting to get a better grasp of what's going on. He's a lot more comfortable, and it showed today. I mean, he's a tough matchup one-on-one because of his stature and then his ball skills.
Were you happy with the pace, tempo on the offense?
I thought it was good at times and it was okay at others. We'll work on it. We'll get to it tomorrow. Our energy when we take the field from the sidelines and getting ready to go needs to be better. And we have to understand, and that's part of why we do these scrimmages with the officials, that the officials are going to stand over the ball at times, especially when there's substitutions. But when he walks away, we need to be ready to go. And so those are all the little nuances that we need to continue to work on.
What would you like from Corey Littleton last year, and what have you seen from him in camp at this point?
Well, Corey started with us on scout team. He was really a scout team defensive player with us on offense, and every day he just continued to impress us on a daily basis. The way his physicality, his energy, his relentlessness to rush the passer. We just felt he was too valuable of a player, not just for our defense, but for special teams not to have on the field, because he's a versatile guy. He can be a stand-up outside backer, but can also rush the passer, and he continues to do that type of stuff for us now. So I think he's going to have a big role for us, obviously on special teams, and he'll have a significant role on defense.
Why were you comfortable taking him off service team and having him start in Autzen was his first start?
Well,
Why did you think he could handle that?
Because of his versatility. I've been seeing him every day, and a guy who, when you play Oregon, you have to have backers on the edge that can play in space, and we're fortunate enough to have that in Shaq and in Feeney, and we just felt like the more guys we could have that could set an edge against those guys, the better off we would be. And so we did it, and I think he's continually improved every day since.
Can you talk about your special teams? You had some kickers today. Can you talk about where that is, and is it conceivable having 3 special teamers contribute this year?
I think it's very conceivable to have 3 different guys doing 3 different things. Potential of a different punter, a kickoff guy, and a field goal kicker. I don't know what happened there in the first 2 extra points. I don't think we've missed an extra point in 4 years and missed the first 2. And after that, I think it was fine and we got going. We've been hammering home here for I don't know how many days we've been in camp about our return game. And I think we have the people to be a really good return team. And so we've made it a point of emphasis. And I think we saw some of that today with some big returns, obviously in the punt game and in the kickoff return game. So we're excited about that. But by after Saturday, we'll have a pretty good feel of who's going to be assigned to what roles come August 31st. And again, those won't be set in stone. We'll continually allow those guys to compete, but we have to start to get an understanding of who's going to focus on what for the final 2 weeks, getting ready for that ball game.
What are your expectations for Danny Shelton now in the second year in the 3-4 scheme lining up in those tackles?
Danny has a chance to be a really special player for us in the middle of that defense, and I think that Coach Lupoy has worked extremely hard with Danny and understanding his role in the scheme. When he really controls everything there and starts the progression of our defense in essence, that as long as he does his job, now that ball gets spilled to our athletes and they can run to the football. So he has a big role. I think he has the capability of doing it. I'm hopeful. I think he's hopeful that he can get it done.
Do you envision him playing in the end, or is he going to line up primarily?
Well, I don't know. It depends on the game plan and who we're playing and what their runs are and all those things going into a ball game. But he has the versatility to do it. We've done some of it here in training camp already, just to prepare ourselves for it, like we do with a lot of guys, moving them around. But I would imagine August 31st, the first snap, he'll be at nose tackle for us.
When you're running this up tempo and on a hot day like this with the sun beating down, you talk a little bit about how your defense is held up. Are they getting worn down a little bit?
I don't think so. I mean, I think during those drives they do, and that's part of the reason you go to the up tempo, right? Is to do those things. It's part of the effectiveness of it. I think that the biggest key to defending up-tempo teams is getting a good stop on 1st and 10, forcing a team into 3rd and longs, and getting off the field. When they were able to do that today, they were effective. When we were able to get yards on 1st down, it made it more difficult because now the run-pass options were more viable for us. So I think that's one of the keys for us, is to become a really good 1st and 10 defense, so that then in turn become a really good 3rd down defense.
You held out Austin today after the pinky injury last night. Is it somewhat precautionary with the pinky and also kind of getting a sense for you're disciplined that you will not disclose? Is it kind of maybe you're somewhat preparing for Boise State as well?
We haven't even thought about Boise State yet. That's not till next Tuesday. But Austin's going to be out for quite a while. He actually has a small fracture in his pinky there that's going to actually require surgery. So he'll be out for a amount of time. He came out with a good attitude. He's doing all the conditioning work and all the fundamental stuff from a footwork standpoint. But he won't be catching balls here for a little while.
Weeks or months?
I don't know, quite honestly. I'm hopeful it's days, but I really don't know.
Do you know, is that an injury you could play a cast with on the pinky?
Again, Greg, I'll know more probably towards the end of the week, quite honestly. I'm giving you more than I probably should, but I'm giving it to you. So I appreciate you guys still digging away at it, but I really don't know.
Yeah.
So
back to the kickers. Do you value consistency for your field goal kicker or your leg strength?
Consistency. It's like anything, when you're teeing off and you're keeping the ball in the fairway. There's something to be said about that. And then as a coach where your limitations are. So consistency is a big deal to what we're looking for.
So you're okay if you don't have 50 plus?
I'm fine with that. Totally fine with that.
And Van Winkle's trajectory, is that on him? He's had 3 kicks blocked, I think, at least 2 blocked and 1 tipped in the past 2 days. Is that other stuff?
We need to be better up front. And that was kind of our second team, field goal team that we were trying to get work with against our guys that really know how to rush. Sean Parker was getting skinny through there, and it was a great block by him. So it's the overall battery that makes it happen, and even more than the battery, the protection as well.
I know it's still early yet on the scrimmage there, but how would you say your quarterbacks did today?
I thought they all played well. I thought they did some really good things. It's unfortunate Keith had a couple drops there on a 3rd down and in the red zone, but I thought they were really efficient. Really nice job in the red zone of finding matchups that are favorable to us. And again, we talked about, I think we can play faster. It'll be a point of emphasis tonight when we meet with them, and they're the ones that are in charge of that. So. But all in all, I thought when the ball was snapped, they played efficiently today.
And Deontay, live action, live carries, first time in a long time.
I couldn't be happier. I thought he did great. I thought he looked a little hesitant early, understandably so, and kept feeding him the ball and giving him carries. I bet he ended up with about 10 carries today and was running inside and outside and caught the ball and walking up the tunnel healthy, and I think that's a big step for him in the right direction.
Move-in date on Saturday. You get a little antsy just to get moved in.
I think so. I just think because of we, just like anything we do, we want to be comfortable in our environment, and the sooner we can get in and to get over the awe factor. It's the reason we wanted to practice in here as soon as we could. I don't think you see too many of our guys walking in the tunnel looking around as much anymore. They're just going to practice, and that's the same thing we want from the facility. It's beautiful, it's going to be great, but after the first few days I want them to get used to it, so that we're just going to work every day.